has it been like dating for you guys out here?
Well, I'm in a relationship, and I'm in a committed relationship. I've been with this guy for about 5 months. So we've been together dating, so it's a monogamous relationship.
Oh, nice. Well, I can't find a man, so
I wasn't looking for it.
But you never know. You never know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So, well, because I'm trans, so dating for me is like super hard. I don't know what it's like.
It's been challenging for me too.
Really?
And in being a 55-year-old trans woman.
Look
okay,
good.
Thank you. But it's been challenging, and I've had quite a few relationships. And you know what? I'm just going to keep on keeping on.
That's all you can do,
You know?
right?
Yeah, I'm not going to give up on love.
Yeah.
How about you?
I know.
How's it been for you?
Oh my
know.
gosh. Well, I don't date. I mean,
Why not?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're
It's-
beautiful, girl.
Thank you. Well, y'all are beautiful too. Thank you.
you.
No, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know if guys know how to like properly treat trans women. I think we're still learning. Well, what about the sex? I mean, like, I'm not a big hoe, but I'm a little bit of a hoe.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. So I'm a
Okay.
former ex-sex worker. So I did sex
Oh.
work for many years.
Okay.
So, but I've always taken care of myself. I'm 43 years old, HIV-negative. I haven't done that in a long time. And I just live my life to just, me. I have a regular job. I work, 9 to 5. But for many, many years prior to, because like I see, I'm 43, so prior to all these trans movements that came along,
Yeah.
the only way to live back then was doing sex work. So I did a lot of sex work, and that is what led me not to believe in love. But I found someone that I care for, so.
Wow. Did you have that experience too, or?
I've started dating just recently because I've been living my true identity for the last 10 years. But I lived a double life for many years, and I started going to bars when I was like 14 years old when I was living up in Berkeley. I'd go to San Francisco, and I'd go over to Polk Street, and the men were living for me, and then I went to the Tenderloin, and the girls started dressing me up, and I was like, oh my God, I love this. But I was so caught in that vicious cycle about what are people going to think? What are people going to think? And I thought, what is my father going to say? What is my mother going to say? Because it was already bad enough that I was gay. And I came out to them, and there was always some drama in the house. And I ran away a couple of times. And, it was just always drama. And then I did sex work too. I could relate to that.
Well,
April.
isn't that
I did sex work for many years.
Wow. Well, I think that's like kind of how it is, right? Because when I first came out, if you will, it wasn't as trans. It was like I came out as gay because I thought that was like a little bit easier to kind of navigate. So that was kind of how it was for me. And, when you're like talking about, having to do the sex work, it's like literally I feel like that's what a lot of trans people and trans women feel like those are our options because we can't get regular employment, and so I totally get that.
Especially back in the 90s, it was okay to be gay in the 90s, but the trans movement has literally just started to roll. So we're just getting the trans movement in.
We keep growing. We keep evolving. More straight men are dating trans women. It blows me away. Like, I'm talking to 3 different men right now. I'm not giving up on love, but I'm enjoying my freedom right now. And I would just love to find a nice friend/sex partner who would be my friend, who could come over, we can go to dinner, movies, have great sex, just spend time with one another,
With the whole sex thing, I have a lot of friends out here, and some of them have HIV. All right, and so it's what do you do to like
Well, see, I've
to keep
always used condoms. So for me, it's always been very important to take care of myself because I remember when I first got my implants, I got an infection. One of them wouldn't close, the breast wouldn't close. And so I had to go to General Hospital. And this is back in the 90s, So there was no trans sensitivity or any of that. So I went into the hospital and they told me, well, you have an infection. And I was like, really? I'm like, can I come back tomorrow? Because we got to take you in. And I'm like, can I come back tomorrow? And they're like, no, if you come back tomorrow, don't come back again because your infection is that deep. So they couldn't put me in with the men and they couldn't put me in with the women. So they isolated me in a room by myself because I wasn't able to be with men or women.
Oh,
So
wow.
to me, that was very sad. They put me by myself, and that always stayed in the back of my mind, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're going to be put alone by yourself when you die of HIV and die a room alone. So that's why I've always taken very good care of myself. I went through addiction to substance use with meth, and even though when I went through my addiction, I always used condoms because it was always in the back of my head. And that's one of the reasons why I started taking PrEP. Because
Okay.
I wanted
I've been
Right.
on PrEP for 2 years now.
It took me a couple of months to finally get on PrEP, because for me, I had that stigma, because it's like,
Yeah.
I'm HIV negative. Why do I need to take an HIV med? I'd rather be safe and be safer with my own self and
Exactly.
be on PrEP, because that way on PrEP, at least I know that I use that condom, which is that barrier that's going to keep me safe. But on top of that, I'm going to have PrEP there for me every day.
So with getting on PrEP,
Uh-huh.
do you still have to use condoms, or like I think
It's a
important for
personal
people to
choice.
know.
My personal
Exactly.
choice is I do. And even in my monogamous relationship, I always take PrEP.
What it does is it protects your immune system. So
Okay.
this is HIV. This is your immune system. It bounces off
Oh,
of your
nice.
immune system,
So it's like
basically.
just-
But you have
like
to
a
take it
shield.
every day.
Because if you don't take care of yourself, you don't protect yourself, you don't love yourself, don't expect anyone else to do it for you.
And I think that's great that it's available to people as well, because sometimes you do get caught in the moment, and sometimes you don't even think to protect yourself, right?
That's
And
happened
so
to
I
me.
think it's really important to have that.
So I wanted to ask you a question. From our younger generation, is there a reason why you haven't gotten on PrEP yet? Or have you thought about getting on PrEP, or have you researched it? Or
I mean, I definitely want to. I think it's just I can barely stay consistent with my hormones. That's why I'm so up and down. So
but wait a minute. But are you consistent with your Instagram? Are you consistent with your Facebook?
Okay, she's gonna read me today. Okay,
She's
fine.
pulling your cup.
So if you can consist yourself with your Instagram and Facebook, you can set that alarm, and it's gonna call you, and you're gonna be like, "Ooh, that's PrEP time."
She's my
Only a
this is my new
suggestion.
mom.
Only a suggestion, okay?
I know. I definitely want to start taking it, and because I have a lot of friends who do use it, and it's very, useful for them, and they love it, and they feel like they're protecting themselves so much more. It definitely makes me want to, even if I do use condoms, I still want to just have that extra layer of security, I think. So, and I think it's so important too, especially with like younger trans women. What my goal has always been is like to look out for the younger generation, right? Like for the girls that are coming up, under us and under me, and it's like I really worry about them, and I want to make sure that they don't have to go through some of the things that I have to go through, or so I didn't have to go through some of the things that y'all went through.
It's all about empowering our transgender individuals, because, like, for instance, for me, I didn't have someone to tell me, hey, use a condom. I didn't.
Right.
I learned that by being around other trans women. I didn't know about certain things that, you had to do, but you learn it through your other trans sisters. But it's important to keep yourself safe. And that's why I love the work that I do, because I help out individuals like myself who've been lost in the past, who think that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm there to say, hey, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
And that's what I always tell my friends. You're worth having an amazing life. You are. We all are. You're worth having an amazing life. And there's nothing that's impossible.